People say they want peace in their life, but their lifestyles show no indication that they actually want peace. We gravitate towards our anxiety being stirred and our anger being stirred and our emotions being stirred. More recently, there's a lot of justifiable reasons to be emotionally stirred, but I'm talking about even prior to all of the more popular events, we have this morbid attraction to needless, hollow, empty drama. I believe that if even everything was just quote unquote perfect in society, we would find a way to find the needless drama. Even if it wasn't with our officials, it'd be with each other. I don't respect the way that we all choose to live, especially in wake of our supposed godly beliefs. You say you believe in God, good. Even the demons believe in God and they shudder. How does that not mean something profound to you? I really truly don't understand. I understand the failure. I understand the failure of aspiration. But I don't understand how on a daily basis we're not confronted with the existential reality that we're not doing enough spiritually. Doing enough spiritually, not merely to enter the kingdom of heaven or to have favor, cosmic favor. People speak about cosmic favor in the context of their vehicle working or not working, or a relationship not working, or not getting a promotion. It's never about the quality of bond with other human beings. Because even in a relationship, people have, I would say, very extremely warped notions and perceptions as to what a good relationship is. And the reason why that is because we don't have concrete, solid notions as to how you and I should be independent of our social connections. How you should be singularly, individually, whether you have a friend, a loved one, or not, is as important as relationships. Because having somebody in your life that loves you is it's not gonna solve your problems. Having somebody in your life that loves you doesn't automatically, emphasis on automatically, it will not automatically make your mind perform and function in the way that you would like for yourself. That's what I see with a lot of people. They think that love will save them. Love is a supplement. Omega-3 supplements, omega-3 from fish oil, or from krill oil, or from flaxseed. It is understood that omega-3 is an essential nutrient that human bodies need, that human bodies do not self-manufacture. The human body does not synthesize omega-3 on its own. Yet, it's not the end-all, be-all, in the sense that if you supplement your body with it, it doesn't fix everything. It doesn't make you superhuman. It merely enables you to be a better version of yourself if you are also doing the necessary practices and engaging in the necessary behaviors in order to get the most out of that supplement. If you're not exercising, consuming omega-3 will only help you so much. If you're not recovering and trying to rest and relax, omega-3 will only do so much. If you're in just eating bags of candy, omega-3 can only do so much. My point is, love is like that. It's supplementary. But we want to believe it's a panacea. And as a result of that, we become lazy with regards to how we utilize our focus and our energy and our efforts. And then what I'm noticing is people then become very delusional, delusional specifically with regards to the amount of effort they need to put in with their mental hygiene. And this obsession with how everyone else is living their life with no appreciation for the fact that we all have our individual chemistries. We all have our own unique idiosyncrasies. It's not that you and I are so different in a macro sense, but you and I are almost certainly different in a lot of micro senses. It's all in the details. It's all about the nuance. The nuance has been removed from our discussion. Nuance has been removed from any normalcy, if it ever did exist. It surely doesn't exist now. Nuance is becoming extinct. And it's becoming extinct because we have now established an atmosphere where nuance is suffocated. We don't have the patience for details. We don't have the patience for subtlety. We don't have the patience for variation. We don't have the patience to parse out the good, the bad, everything in between, and then make our conclusion. It's like, no, we got it. Just got it. It's an impatient world, which is also why is a conclusion I had recently is we need a holy kind of patience. I need a holy kind of patience. And when I say a holy kind of patience, I mean, I have to elevate my desire for patience, the priority of it. It has to be elevated to a higher tier of importance within me. And that higher tier of importance, I suppose, because I grew up in a religious context, the holy meaning set apart. Holy meaning its importance is beyond this worldly consideration. Because it means something to me. Maybe somebody else's word will be something else. But words are magical when they have particularly when they have personal meaning to you. And holy does mean something to me. And so I would like to practice, I'm trying to practice, and I'm failing constantly, but I've been trying to practice a holy kind of patience. Because within that holy kind of patience is more of an energy, an availability of energy to be more reasonable, to be more precise, to be more conversationally surgical, to even be more artful, because you realize conversation or there's an art to disagreement. Because when people disagree, you notice a lot of times they just need to be, they just never have the opportunity really to emotionally rant and to just get out everything. No matter how irrational and unreasonable their perceptions are, they need to just unload. It could be reasonable, it could be irrational, it can be all of that and everything, but they have to unload it. And so you don't necessarily in that first wave of emotional unpacking, you don't have to necessarily chomp at everything they're saying. You gotta let them get it out. It's similar to if you follow fighting at all, a lot of times in mixed martial arts, there'll be these two guys that have all this quote unquote beef with each other. And then at the end of the 5 rounds of their match, they hug it out and it's all love. They just got to get it out. And then also there's a mutual respect from both of them withstanding each other's efforts. Similarly, conversationally, unfortunately, inconveniently, because I hate this, there does have to be a kind of patience, a kind of willingness to indulge somebody's unreasonability in order to get to the more ideal place of them being receptive. And it's hard for them to trust you as an interlocutor initially. This goes for even like, I've seen this. I've seen this personally, and even as a third party witness. This is even with people, with family, with friends. It doesn't have to be just some kind of debate politically or whatever. Uh, 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 th- th- Oftentimes, somebody's not willing to be reasonable until they've exhausted themselves, which is just it. But that's where love comes in. Love is willing to be patient enough to tolerate this exercise, this purging of feeling and emotion. Our entire discussion needs to change. Our entire interest in, if we really want our society to progress and be better, our everyday discussions, not just momentarily, our everyday discussions have to be deeper. Something I used to come across, not so much anymore because I'm hermetic, but in the past, especially when I first was impassioned to start speaking about quote unquote deeper things, I used to hear it here and there. Everything doesn't have to be deep. Everything. Yeah, the problem is that nothing is deep. Everything doesn't have to be deep, conversationally speaking, but our conversations are not deep at all. There's no, it'd be different if our norm was deep conversations. Then I would understand this recoil and this aversion to quote unquote depth, to the layers. But it's not our norm. Nor is even church going our norm anymore, because even at the very least with something like church, you had some semblance of a reinforcement of the spirit, something there to imply we need togetherness. And there's nothing perfect about religious commune at all. There's you can point to all kind of flaws, but I'm speaking to the most idealistic aspects of church. When church is done right, you have a reinforcement of spirit, you feel more together with people. And it's ironic, it's paradoxical, because within that, if you get down to the details, there's some profound discriminatory elements there with regards to, if you don't believe this or if you live this kind of way, then you're going to hell. That's totally fair. But I'm speaking to now, if we're all so much more evolved, and so since church is not even a fact anymore, we can all understand what's good for us and what's bad for us. And what's good for us is to come together, say as much as we can positive remarks that instill hope within us, that inspire us, that help readjust our perspective so that we don't forget that we need to be focused on what's meaningful and better for everybody in the grand scheme of things. But perspective, that's the other part. Perspective is gone. Perspective is lost. Perspective is not being pursued. Perspective, that word doesn't even have any potency. We must aspire towards having church again. Not church in the traditional classical sense, but a church of some kind. A church of some kind where collectively our interest is in readjusting our perspective so that we're more patient, we're more considerate, not some mindless, lobotomized kind of niceness, not some kind of lobotomized niceness and warmth that where we enable, where we're so soft-hearted that somebody walks all over us. We're so soft-hearted that we just give tacit permission to those who seek to do destructive things. No, 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 no. But I'm talking about a kind of perspective where we know that first and foremost, the work must be done on our part. First and foremost, I must be doing the work. You must be doing the work. And we must recognize why it's worthwhile. We're all so pessimistic and cynical, like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But it is worth it. That's why we don't have the kind of the integrity of our bonds are terrible. Because we're being so worldly. It's all these words: worldliness, perspective, holy, nuance. These words are all so important. Every word that every single one of those words I just said, that's not, be honest. Is that them? Are those terms at the forefront of your consciousness? Are those terms at the forefront of the people you know? The bottom line is, as it is always, we have to do better. How can we expect better when we don't do better? The only reason why I can even feel comfortable about talking about standards is because I am obsessed with standards, particularly when I'm affecting other people. You can, I could do so much better with some things with regards to, I don't hang my shirts up after I wash them as fast as I'd like or something. just certain things that I don't particularly do that I could do better individually. But when it comes to other people, I believe that when we're affecting other people, we need to be on our A game, because that's the least we can do. That's the least we can do. The least we can do is ensure that no matter how dysfunctional you and I are, that if we really do want positive connections and heartfelt bonds with each other, then why are we not on our best behavior? I know why. Because nobody else is. Can't beat them, join them. Who cares? Everyone's so rude. Everybody's so inconsiderate. Everybody's so disrespectful. Everybody's so indifferent. Everybody's so jaded. I understand. I do. But this is where I just cannot comprehend how you can say you believe in a cosmic supreme being that will either send you to an eternal fire or send you to an eternal sanctuary. How can you believe in a cosmic being and not be inspired to adjust your mentality on a day-to-day basis? I don't understand. This cosmic being cares about your job. This cosmic being apparently cares about your boyfriend and girlfriend, your husband, your wife, if whether or not your boy wins the football game. This cosmic being cares about all this stuff, but he doesn't care about how we treat each other. Make it make sense. It's getting a little windy out here. I digress. Bless you all.